Police officers across the country are on the front lines of some of the most traumatic events in our community, and efforts to support their wellness are increasing. This morning, News 3's Jessica Arp takes us inside one department here in Wisconsin and a statewide effort to create a ministry of presence.
Hi, I'm Jenny.
As second shift begins in Sun Prairie.
Who do we have for 2 o'clock? We got Norm and Brandon.
Yep. So does the listening.
Initially came out as somebody screaming and then hung up. They said, quote, "Please hurry."
Roll call prepares officers for what's happened and what might be ahead.
An individual with a black hoodie and black hat with blue jeans and shoes causing disturbance.
At the table, you'll notice a different kind of uniform.
Got another disturbance out on Windsor Street.
Also preparing to hit the streets.
Alrighty, let's do this.
Pastor Jenny Arneson is joining Sergeant Brandon Lingle on patrol.
So how long have you been in policing?
I've been with Sun Prairie for 10 years. I got promoted about 4 years ago.
Lingle's job as a shift supervisor is to support his officers.
I know it sounds cheesy, but I really enjoy helping people.
Arneson's primary job as a police chaplain is just to listen.
We have access to counselors, and those guys and gals are really good. But you guys coming right along with us, or you're there when dramatic events happen, and so we get to build a relationship with you.
Arneson is one of 6 police chaplains in Sun Prairie, part of a program that Lieutenant Kevin Konopacki said he realized he needed to start after an incident in 2015.
The city had experienced a rather horrific homicide where we had a foster son behead his mother, or his foster mother, with a sword. And you can imagine the trauma of that type of call.
That same concept of volunteer chaplains has taken off across the state.
Encourage them to verbalize their fears and anxieties.
Culminating in a first-of-its-kind training program by the State Department of Justice to create a chaplain certification. Attorney General Brad Schimmel said he first realized the need when his wife got on board with a run for AG, in part because of his own stress as a local DA.
I was less talkative at home, less interactive, and she recognized it was affecting me.
DOJ started the trainings late last year. Former Milwaukee police officer and now chaplain George Papachristou has helped head up the effort.
We were exposed to a lot of ugly things, and we just had to process it and just put it in your head and move on, and put it in your head and move on.
To listen to part of the training gives you a better picture of what it's like.
We had to go tell a mother that her 4-year-old baby was killed in a car accident.
Pastor John Putnam is training clergy of all faiths in what they may face.
And I got a phone call. And you remember that kid? Yes, he just blew his brain. You may not realize this or not, but you are God's representative to them in their crisis.
But while God may be central to the lives of some clergy, it's not central necessarily to the job of a chaplain.
Ask them, can I pray for you? Would it be okay if I can pray with you? Very rarely will someone say, no, I'm not interested. If they do, absolutely. That's it. You don't pray for them.
This isn't about growing your church. This isn't about your own personal profession. This is about being of service to the officers, their families, and the community at large.
Father Mike Tess and Pastor Arneson say the lines are clear in this ministry of presence. They're in the car or at roll call to listen, not evangelize.
You are a soft place to fall for the officers and for the community that you're serving.
Unfortunately, we have a front seat view to human tragedy.
Sergeant Lingle knows this maybe better than most.
I spent a lot of time with my chaplain when I was in Iraq, and a lot of us did.
Lingle says he's called on the department chaplains to help in recent months.
I've called twice. Once for suicide that was mostly for the family, but for the officers too. And for a fire that we had that was pretty traumatic for the families.
Lieutenant Konopacki says that is exactly the idea.
For me, if I know that they're out there, even if it's helping one police officer or a member of our community, then it's a positive thing.
Sun Prairie is one of more than 100 police departments and religious organizations statewide that are taking part in the new chaplain certification training.